Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the cinematography for Blau's song Tokyo. Welcome to the Filmora music video series. My name's Jony, and today we're going to shed some light on the cinematography of Blau's Tokyo. In short, cinematography is how you visually tell a story. It covers how a film or music video is shot, spans from deciding on how you want your scene lit, to what kind of camera gear you shoot with, to how you frame your shots and decide your camera movement, plus a lot more. There's a lot of cool cinematography on display here, so let's get into it. What kind of vision did you bring to this music video specifically?
Cinematography, a lot of it has to do with collaborating, a lot of listening as well. So I was trying to paint with lights.
While you may think that cinematography is all about the use of the camera, lighting is just as big of a component. When composing your shots, you need to consider how your scene is lit and how your talent is lit.
So Kevin had a vision that he wants to do a particular way, and I have to interpret that visually and poetically. So a lot of it is how do we stay away from using hard lights, a lot softer look, and the type of lenses that we could use to achieve that, and also some elements like haze actually better. So using haze.
Hard and soft light are different types of light that are commonly used in photography and filmmaking. Soft light refers to light that tends to wrap around the object, casting diffused shadows with soft edges. Hard lights, on the other hand, are typically point light sources that are relatively close to your subject. This often gives them a harsher and more dramatic look. To achieve a soft look, add diffusion to bring the intensity down. We further softened our lighting and added atmosphere with a haze machine. In fact, we actually used haze in pretty much every shot and every scene. Now let's take an example from the shoot and look at how we lit our bus set. In the middle here, we have our bus, which was surrounded by several tungsten lights, shooting upwards onto whiteboards to resemble street lights. They're all set up to automatically switch on and off with an offset to simulate real movement. To add more realism to the movement, we also had 3 projectors shooting at the back walls with street footage playing. Finally, we had 3 lights setting on the cue by the lighting team to come in on the director's call to initiate the memory of our protagonist. We also put soft lights on top of all the upper windows on the bus to simulate a cool blue interior light in the bus. Music videos can vary widely in terms of what sort of cameras they're shot on. We'll mainly be focusing on theory and techniques, so while we shot Tokyo on an ARRI Alexa Mini, you can also apply this to DSLRs or even smartphones. The lenses we use are called prime lenses, meaning they all have fixed focal lengths, so there's no zooming that happens with them. Instead, to choose the right level of zoom, the DP will pick the right lens for the shot. For example, a close-up might require a higher focal length, and a wide shot might require a shorter focal length with a wider field of view. This also depends on the aspect ratio you chose to shoot in.
For 2:3:5, which is most commonly used for in films, and that's sort of like when people talk about something cinematic, it's because of the 2:3:5 aspect ratio. 16:9 you see a lot more at the top and bottom, and 2:3:5 is you have this sort of gives you a more narrow perspective about. Normally I think it's used for, the way I like to use it for establishing relationships, how far away from each other people are or how close they are. So you really see the distance. It's like when you look at a microscope, you study, what's going on in that world.
Yeah.
So our way of doing it is with our aspect ratio that we kind of narrow down to where you want to look at and how you want to frame things.
Framing is another important aspect of cinematography. This includes concepts like the rule of thirds and leading lines. Let us know in the comments below if you want to learn more about those topics. In the meantime, a good rule of thumb is to give your subject headroom. This is space between the top of the head and the top of your frame. In addition to framing, the camera movement in your music video can also tell a lot of story. There are generally 6 prevalent camera moves that you'll use on set: dolly, pedestal, truck, pan, tilt, and roll. The main 2 we'll be focusing on are dolly and trucking. When our protagonist looks out the window of the bus, we cut to a wide shot of one of her memories of the past passing by outside. We did a left to right motion called trucking to simulate this. This was less for emotional purposes, but more to add to the illusion of our subject being in a moving bus. However, one camera move that can invoke a lot of emotion is a push-in or pull-out shot. This is when the camera is on a dolly and moves towards or away from the subject. This can often give a sense of importance to the state of mind of the character. For example, we've got this push-in shot of our actress as she approaches the window of the bus and sees what's going on outside. While making the shot more dynamic and exciting, it also makes what the character is seeing outside the bus feel more important to her. A pull-out shot, on the other hand, is a good way to give a sense of finality to a scene or interaction. We have a lot of these shots in this music video since our main character is literally leaving her old life and memories behind.
It's very important to, when you're starting out for cinematography or anything in arts, is really developing what you like, what you don't like, and developing a taste. I always like to try things out for myself, and then, oh, that didn't turn out well, I didn't like that. But then sometimes you experience something and you like it, and oh, okay, I'm gonna put that somewhere, and at some point I'm gonna use it because I like how it all turned out. I don't think there's any rules in cinema or in filmmaking.
So that's a look at the cinematography of Blau's Tokyo music video. I'll see you guys in the next video where we bring all this footage onto the editing floor. And remember, there's no limit to what you can make.